episode 5 of Pistol Pete's Training. So today's episode's actually going to be answering 2 questions, and these 2 questions are going to be answered over the next couple of episodes. The reason just is they go really well together, but the content to fully explain it and understand it and practically apply it is a little bit too much just for one episode. I know what people's attention spans are like. They go like that, so we want to make sure that people are really understanding and digesting that information before giving them a bit too much. So the 2 questions we're going to be covering today, the first one is sent in by Jim over in Australia, and it says, how is work ethic applied into a sales business to really help lead to success? And the second question is sent in also from Australia by Warren, and it's how to stay motivated all of the time. So work ethic obviously is really incredibly important, or work rate is important. It's seen as one of the 3 main ingredients to the recipe of success, which we talked about back in episode 1. So it's incredibly important, but I think to actually apply it successfully, you need to really understand what work ethic is about, and also understand the different perspectives you can have of it in different situations, so have some perspective on that. Also at the same time, it is very easy for me to say, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard all of the time, it's important. And it's easy to say, but less easy to do. Working hard is incredibly easy, but doing it all the time and maintaining that high level of work rate is a lot harder. So what we're going to do today is talk about 4 little tips, 2 in this episode and 2 in the following episode. And that's what we're going to jump in and explain. So the first thing that we need, guys, when we're talking about work ethic and how to stay motivated all the time, is that we need to find our why. Okay, so I'm not talking about goals and rewards, because goals and rewards are important. They do drive short-term work ethic, and they drive that through excitement. When you set a new goal or there's a new reward, and the anticipation of getting that drives excitement, work rate will increase with that. But over time, what happens is excitement does die off, and normally what happens is work rate will die off with that. If you have a why, a reason for doing this, what happens is it maintains that work rate high. And the reason why the why is so important is it gives you purpose, it gives you reason, it gives you a drive, a direction, and most importantly, it gives you a burning desire to achieve that and never stop no matter what happens. Because in sales in particular, when we're talking about sales for Jim, it can be a rough business, and I emphasize can. You are going to have ups and downs, you are going to have challenges, you are going to have rejection, and you're going to have uncontrollable stuff happen to you that's going to give you setbacks. But one thing that reminds me of is just life, guys. Life is just like that. You are going to have your ups and downs, you are going to have rejection, you are going to have uncontrollables. But if you have an overall why and a direction, it means what it does is you can withstand all of this negative stuff that happens to you, and it gives you a purpose and a burning desire to go out and achieve your goals. So the first thing you need to get, guy, is your why. But once you've got your why, you need to put it somewhere that's visible every time, because when life and in sales is going to throw all this stuff in, sometimes your why gets mixed up within this and you can't actually see it, and you lose your focus and your direction. Have your why somewhere you can see it every day. Maybe have it on your mirror where you're brushing your teeth every morning, or in the shower, or on your phone as your morning alarm. You need to have it so it's ingrained in your brain, so you understand why you're doing what you're doing and the direction you're going, not just in sales but in life. It gives you a direction, you know exactly what you're achieving. So that's the first thing, guys. Grab your why, it will drive overall motivation, and use goals and rewards as that short-term motivation for that excitement levels. So the second thing that we need, guys, is patience. Now, we live in a world of instant gratification. You can take, for example, your microwave in your house. We have 2-minute noodles, we put it in the microwave, we close the door, we press 2 minutes, and we stand there impatiently checking our watch, thinking 2 minutes seems like a lifetime. Even the internet, one of the best inventions in the entire world, I think. But what happens is we can go to any mobile device or laptop and stream any TV or film onto that product from anywhere in the world. But heavens and God forbid that we have to wait for at least a minute for it to buffer. What happens is we're throwing around the laptops or blaming the person that actually ordered the internet into the flat, saying that it's way too slow. So the problem with instant gratification, guys, is that we always want instant results. And that plays a huge role in affecting our work ethic. So a great example, guys, and I'm sure every single person watching this has been included, is when we look in real life at fitness. So what happens is we've all had that spurge to go out and get the ideal model's body. So we join the gym, and when we join the gym and we have this picture of ourselves with this amazing summer bod, excitement is high. And when excitement is high, work rate is high. But what happens, even though we know the facts are that we do need to wait and apply work ethic over a 6-week period to see any type of change, because after 2 to 3 weeks we're not seeing instant results, what happens? Excitement dies off, and so does obviously our work ethic. So that's why we need to have patience, guys. The reason we need to have patience is we need to allow for compound interest to get involved and start taking action and working its magic. Now, a lot of people don't understand compound interest. The reason for this is our brains are designed to think linear. So that means 1 + 1 = 2. It can't understand compound interest. Now, a great example to describe compound interest is the typical golf game example. So a golf game is made up of 18 holes, and on the first hole we are going to bet 10 cents to the winner of that hole. Then when we move on to the second hole, we're going to double it. So that's now going to be worth 20 cents that hole. On the third hole, we're going to do the same again. We're going to double it again, so it will then go up to 40 cents. Take a little guess. How much do you think the 18th hole is going to be worth? Now, most of you now are probably thinking in the 10s, 20, $30. You might even have a few of you thinking a little bit bigger, around the hundreds. But there's probably only a select few that even got close. The actual figure is closer to $13,000. An incredible figure, but the reason for this is due to compound interest. So compound interest is incredibly important, not just in life, but in a skills-based environment like sales. You need to allow it to take result and take action. Otherwise, you're not going to see these instant results. There can be cases where you can, but over time, you need to let it obviously take. You need to have this patience. So that doesn't mean sitting back and taking your time and just waiting around. But what you need to do is apply what I call the donut analogy. So in the center, you've got hard work rate. You're working hard as you can to get to that end destination, that Y, as quick as possible. But surrounding that is that overall patience, so you understand that it takes time. Once you understand this patience and understand this compound interest, it allows you to work at a much harder rate, but understanding that instant results aren't going to happen, and it might be over time. And it gives you this calm exterior to allow yourself to work at that rate without getting burnt out, guys. So patience is the second importance. They need to work together, and it's not a seesaw. It's not one patience or hard work. It's a combination of a donut, and the donut analogy works in all sets of life, and there's always areas that you can see that work. Apply the donut analogy to your life as well as sales with work rate and patience, and you'll see a much better results coming from it. So there you have it, guys. That's the first 2 little areas that we're going to cover when we're looking at what is work ethic and how does it apply to the sales business, as well as the question from Warren of how to stay motivated all the time. So find that why, guys. Once you find that why, obviously it can really drive that motivation, give you direction, and obviously allow you to work harder and go through these challenges and all these adversities, even once that excitement is worn off. And secondly, having patience, understanding compound interest. If you can look into compound interest and fully understand it, you'll see that it makes a massive role in your fitness, as well as your finance, as well as relationships, as well as your work as well. Anything that's skill and work rate needed, compound interest plays that huge role, having that patience. So understand that donut analogy, guys, and apply it, and you'll start realizing you can apply that in a lot more areas than we've just talked about today. So those are just going to be the first 2 areas, guys. Make sure you're pressing subscribe below. We're obviously getting close to that 100 mark where we can change our URL, so please go on, subscribe. Go to our Instagram, which is @PistolPeteTraining, and send in any questions that you have to pistolpetetraining@gmail.com. Thanks so much for the support so far, guys. It's been great, and we'll see you on episode 6, where we'll cover the final 2 topics on what is it work ethic and how is it applied into sales, as well as how to stay motivated all the time. But have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time.